Hi everyone, thank you for joining us from all over the world today and welcome to our international live stream. We hope you're enjoying our postgraduate digital events so far today. My name is Alex, I'm a recruitment officer for Bangladesh, Nepal and Pakistan as well as Europe. And we also have Emily Jane here who I'll pass over to introduce herself.
Hi all, I'm Emily Jane. I'm the Postgraduate Admissions Manager and I will be shortly explaining the application and CAS process and answer any questions that you have in regards to studying as a DMU. And then for those of you joining today who have been issued CASs or you're awaiting CAS for this upcoming intake, the admissions team are working tirelessly to process CASs as quickly as possible for all of our eligible offer holders. So we'll go into that in a little while.
Thanks, Emily. So today we'll be covering areas such as employability, life in Leicester, as well as things such as the health and wellbeing support on offer to students at De Montfort University. One thing to note before we start off is that a lot of the content that we'll be talking about will be focused on those who are joining us this September. But regardless of that, it'll be useful for anyone interested in joining De Montfort University. We'd also like to remind you that this is an interactive stream, so if you have any questions, please just pop them into the chat and we'll do a Q&A at the end. We also have a live chat on the main homepage where you can get in touch with a member of staff for a one-to-one chat. So now I'm going to talk on how teaching and learning will be for students studying with us at DMU. So first of all, I'm going to touch on DMU Replay. So DMU Replay gives students access to recorded content so that you can rewatch lectures as many times as you like. It's extremely useful when revising for exams or completing coursework. There are also a number of spaces for students to access around campus. So these are social study spaces. We have a 24/7 library and a number of other spaces with computers, such as study areas within individual faculty buildings. We also offer tech and software support to those who need it, and we offer skills development opportunities. These are things ranging from maths to LinkedIn support from our careers and employability team. That takes us nicely onto our next topic, which is regarding our award-winning careers and employability service called DMU Works. So what is DMU Works? As a university, we have over 70 staff and dedicated faculty teams focused on supporting your employability. And we recently won the Best University Careers and Employability Service at the National Undergraduate Employability Awards in 2021. There's also a lot of support available for students. So we offer one-to-one careers appointments where students can sit down with a member of our careers team and discuss anything related to employability. So this could be things such as your CV, covering letters, interview preparation, assessment centers, and even sourcing new job opportunities. We also offer startup and entrepreneurship support. We have an innovation center where students can meet to discuss new ideas and grow their ventures. We have one-to-one employability mentoring. We have part-time job opportunities, internships, placements, graduate jobs, and they're all available through My Gateway. We also have DMU for Life. This is our alumni scheme, which has helped create a global network of DMU alumni. But in terms of employment, even after graduating from DMU, students can still use the employability services to help support them with their application and find new opportunities. So as you're aware, upon completion of your degree from De Montfort University, you have 2 years to live and work in the UK. So we run a number of workshops for alumni to network with potential employers and help their employability prospects. We also have specialist job platforms such as Student Circus and Going Global. So we'll now show a video which highlights everything DMU Works has to offer. So for those of you that are starting with us this September, we have a few important things to let you know before you start. So first of all, registration. So once you've paid your 50%, we'll be in touch with details about registration. There are a few things you're able to do online before you come to campus and join us this month. With accommodation, once you've made DMU your phone choice, you should receive an email with details about accommodation and how you can easily secure a place using our online booking system. If you require any assistance with this process, please get in touch with our accommodation team. My colleague is going to place the accommodation email address in the chat box, so you can pick it up just there. We also have airport pickups available. So we're running airport pickups from London Heathrow on Friday, the 19th of September. And we're accepting bookings for this for any flights that arrive at Heathrow before 4 p.m. on Friday the 19th. So if you have, if you would like to book one of these slots, one of the airport pickups, you have until Monday the 12th of September, and that will be the deadline to guarantee your place. For more information on this and how to book your place, my colleague is going to place a link in the chat box, so you can just click on the link and book your slot through that. We also have International Registration Week. So for international students joining us this month, the registration week will start on Tuesday the 20th to Friday the 23rd of September. And this coincides with the start of in-person registration appointments for international students. It's a good opportunity to settle in before the start of your course and get advice on living and studying in the UK, meeting new staff and other students. So this week will include information and advice sessions on topics such as healthcare, how to open a bank account, study skills, and working in the UK. There will also be lots of social activities, including a karaoke, games night, and sports taster sessions for those of you that are interested in joining our sports teams. We will have tours of the campus and Leicester City Centre, and also the opportunity to book onto an optional day trip to Oxford, which will be on Saturday, the 24th of September. I'm now going to pass over to Emily from our admissions team, who will be going over the admissions process.
Okay, so as the postgraduate admissions manager, I'm going to take you through how to apply, key tips and advice alongside information about our CAS letters. So in regards to applying to study a course at DMU, you can apply via the online portal or by sending the application via email to admissions. If you're applying directly via the online portal, please be sure to upload all the necessary documents. And similarly, if applying directly, just make sure all the documents are attached to the email with the completed application form, because this is really important that we can start processing your application as soon as possible. Also ensure that you've looked at all the course entry criteria on the website, so that you know that what we're going to be asking for, that you're fully prepared, and it will also prompt you to double check that you're sending everything that was required. If you don't have a student number and need to email us, please just always give us your name and date of birth, as this helps us locate you on the system. Also make sure that you've answered all questions on the application form or the portal, as this avoids delays in processing. For example, if you've had a previous visa refusal, please declare it and provide us with the necessary information alongside your application. So it's also worth mentioning that if you've studied in the UK previously, we require you sending previous UK documents such as your previous CAS, BRP, visa, and any UK education certificates. So once we've received all of your documents and issued an unconditional offer, providing you've passed a credibility interview and financial checks if required, as well as paying the tuition fee deposit, you will then be eligible for a CAS. So a CAS letter is a document that the UKVI require in order to progress your visa to the UK. It's also the full term is confirmation of acceptance of studies, but we tend to just use the shorthand CAS. So you're eligible for a CAS once you've met all the conditions of offer that's been set out by the admissions team. If you've received an in-country offer from the international office, then that will need to be verified by the admissions team. And then at that point, an unconditional offer should then be provided, providing you've met all those conditions. You also will need to pass a credibility interview and financial checks from certain regions, and that will be highlighted to you in the first instance. So we do firmly encourage applicants to make the 50% tuition fee deposit as soon as possible. This deposit will be reflected on your CAS letter, and all of the information is on the unconditional offer letter in order to make this deposit payment. And it will also be deducted from the money that you'll be required to present to the UKVI for your visa. So the deposit deadline for this intake has now passed, but we do welcome applications for our upcoming January intake, which we will be processing very soon. So the issuance of a CAS letter is an extensive process, and it is important that you understand that we do require those deposits for CAS as soon as possible. So for the January intake, once we've processed your unconditional offer, the sooner that you can pay the deposit, the better. And please do bear with admissions at peak times, as we do devote dedicated resource onto processing the CAS letters. So we now are in CAS issuance period, as we have been for many months now, and we are aware of all applicants that are due at CAS. As the deposit deadline has now passed, we know exactly who is now eligible for a CAS, and we're continuing to process them. So please be assured that our team are working hard to issue CAS to all eligible applicants over the next few weeks. Please also continue to check your emails, as CAS are issued daily, and you do not need to contact us about this, because we will come to your CAS application in turn. So that's all from me. I'm going to hand over to Alex to talk about living in Leicester.
That's great. Thank you, Emily. So I'm now going to touch on the lovely city that we live in, which is Leicester. So Leicester offers everything you expect from a city and more, and it's all on your doorstep. Not only are there great shops, bars and restaurants just a short distance from the campus, Leicester is also a great place to be a student, with the latest Student Living Index ranking Leicester in the top 10 student cities in the UK. And this is based on the cost to students for food, rent and fun. It's a city-based campus, so our campus is based less than 5-minute walk away from the centre of Leicester, meaning there are lots of activities nearby for students to enjoy, including shopping, sport, music, theatre, film and also comedy. We're just going to play a short video showcasing what Leicester means from one of our alumni.
Leicester will be our next station call in approximately 10 minutes' time.
My name is Aminata. When I first came to Leicester, I was just 18 years old. As soon as I came out of the station and into the city for the first time, I just got this sense that I'm home. Which is strange, because I'd grown up in Bexley Heath and all I'd known is London. But here, there were people who looked and sounded just like me. And there was also something else, something really, really special. There was space for me here. Felt visible. People really listened to me. People like the director, who I met at the Curve Cafe by absolute accident, but gave me my first big break. And the radio station, who once had me as a guest and later gave me a job. And the theatre, who put on my work and gave me an audience. Leicester is a big city, no question. It's got shops after shops after shops. It's home to big businesses and major employers. If you want to go out to eat, go for a drink with some friends, you can do that. Leicester's a vibe. Heritage, culture, and a great sense of community. Leicester will give you all that. But most of all, it's a city that will give you a chance. So take it.
So finally, I'm just going to talk about Healthy DMU, which is our student support and wellbeing service. We understand that university life and moving to a new country can be busy, and trying to find a balance can be challenging at times for our students. So self-care and making time for yourself are important for a healthy you at DMU. And we are there to support you. So first of all, at DMU, we want you to be in the best possible position to succeed, and our students' physical and mental well-being is very important to us. Healthy DMU masterclasses are available and aim to support students during their time at De Montfort University. The classes look at how students can be assertive and manage stress while studying at university. We've also invested 8 million in a sports centre, which includes an 8-court sports hall, a swimming pool, a climbing wall, and a gymnasium. And you can find physical sports classes and teams available there. We also have online materials to help your mental well-being. And we have the International Welcome Week, which I briefly mentioned earlier. And we have the iBuddy scheme. So when you arrive in the UK, we can pair you up with a current international student, and they can help to support you with any queries you may have about life in Leicester or De Montfort University. So that's all from myself and Emily, but we will answer any questions that were placed in the chat box now.
Thanks for the engagement. Well, it's great to see so many questions. I can see one. Yeah, brilliant. I was just looking at that one. So the 2-year allowance upon the completion of the degree, so the post-study work visa. So yes, that you will be eligible for the post-study work visa, providing you complete a UK degree. So that is either an undergraduate or a postgraduate. So most postgraduate courses are 1 year of study, whereas undergraduate can be 3 to 4. Hopefully that answers that question. There's lots of information on the UK web, the government website in regards to the post-study work visa as well. So I definitely signpost you over there. So we've got another question which I've just seen pop up at the bottom here. The cut-off date for January start applications. So we don't yet have a formalised cut-off date for the applications for January, but I would very much recommend you get the application in as soon as possible if you're considering coming to study with us in January, because we are very busy already for this upcoming intake, which is fantastic. And it's great to see as many applications as we've seen so far. But I would imagine a cut-off date to be around November time if I was guessing. So please do get that application in as soon as possible, and we can look at processing that for you.
Another one just came in at the bottom. So once the conditions of the conditional offer letter are fulfilled, do we require unconditional offer letter, or can we go to CAS? So yeah, you will need an unconditional offer letter. So as soon as your conditions are fulfilled, our admissions team will process that and issue an unconditional offer letter, and then we can move on to CAS.
Yeah, an unconditional offer letter is required not only to study at DMU and to progress through to registration and such, but it's also required in regards to making your visa application. So please bear with us, because we deal with a great volume of applications to process, even at this time of the year where the intake's upcoming. But we're doing all we can to process, and it might be that you receive an unconditional offer letter and a CAS in the same day, but we can't guarantee that. But as I said in my update earlier, we are well aware of all the students that still require a CAS, and we're working through those as quickly as possible.
There's another one regarding unconditional offer letter at the bottom. If you've not received your unconditional offer letter yet, and you do not have time to apply for your CAS, then we do have the option to always defer your offer to the next intake. So that will always be a possibility.
Yeah. So yeah, depending on the course of the course that you currently have applied for, we might have a January intake for it, and that will be evident from our website. And if not, there will also be the option to defer to the future September intake, which is where all of our course offerings are offered. So we can absolutely accommodate a deferral. Just send an email to the admissions email address. Please make sure that your student ID or your full name and date of birth is outlined on the subject of that email, and we'll make sure that that deferral is actioned for you. Okay.
For anyone that's interested in a foundation program, see one question here. Our foundation program is run by Oxford International Education Group. So you can find that information on our website, and they offer international foundation year or international year 1. It would just depend on the qualifications you currently hold. But that is also an option if you wish to study with us.
Definitely. We also offer the integrated masters as well as some study prior to completing a master's. So if you already have a degree but you wish to have some support from the International College, there is also that option for you. So as Alex has already outlined, that is a really good option for certain applicants, and we've got all the information on our website. I can see a question in regards to the social work bursary from Renee, and I can't comment on that for now because I haven't had the information from the programme leaders in regards to the bursary, but I know that lots of information will be provided to the academic team, and you'll be hearing from them quite shortly. So apologies, I can't answer that for now, but that is in process. Okay. So there's a question in regards to people that have submitted their applications since July, which was our cut-off for applications, and are waiting on an offer. Yes, if you would like your application to be transferred over to January, that is not a problem. Please just email admissions and say that you wish for your application to be deferred to the January intake, and we can accommodate that for you. And we've got somebody who's applied back in July for January. I appreciate your patience on this because we are extremely busy with this current intake at the moment. We will be turning our attention to January processing very soon. And we are already processing some applications for January, but very soon, once this intake and once the CASs have all been processed, we will fully be committed to processing in a very small turnaround for January.
And the question right at the bottom, which is the last date to join the uni for international students? So if you already have your CAS and you're coming this September, the teaching starts on the 3rd of October and the last enrollment date is the 14th of October. However, we'd recommend you come in September so you could join in with the International Welcome Week.
Definitely, yeah. The latest date of enrolment is the 14th of October, but you will have needed to register prior to that, and teaching will have already started for 10 days prior to that. So it's really, really important that you utilise the fact that the start date on the CAS is in mid-September, and that you also take part in any of the International Registration Week activities we've got, because it's a really good opportunity for you.
There's one where they've applied, but they won't have time to arrive in September, so can they defer to January? They would just need to email admissions. Is that correct, Emily?
That's correct. Yeah. So that course may or may not have a January offering. I can't tell off the top of my head, but it will be evident from the website. And if it doesn't, then we can defer your application to the following September. Or if you wish to partake in a different course that will run in January, then we can accommodate that for you too, providing that you meet the criteria for that course. We do have a question in regards to scholarships, but we haven't, I don't think we can speak directly on that. Alex, I don't know whether you have any more information.
We're still waiting. Yeah, we're waiting for them to be 100% confirmed. There will be scholarships available, which will probably be similar to the last intake. So for September this year, we had a £1,500 international scholarship, which was a first come first served basis, and also a £500 early payment bursary. However, these haven't been confirmed for January, but I would expect there will be something similar to this. So just keep an eye on our scholarships website, and you can also have a look at the merit-based scholarships we have available on there too.
Yeah, and the sooner that you make the deposit payment, the better, because that usually puts our applicants in good stead for a scholarship, as they're usually first come first serve based on a deposit payment. Okay. So I've seen a comment within the thread in regards to IELTS requirements, and we have a viewer who has recently completed a degree at DMU offered by the Skills College in Sri Lanka. So we do have an English waiver of 1 year of a UK higher education institution degree. So we would still need to verify this as an admissions team, because we can't provide English waivers without seeing all the documentation. But as a rule of thumb, providing you have completed a degree, then IELTS will not be required as a condition of offer. Okay.
The final question about a discount on tuition fees if they deposit up to 10k. It's not something I'm familiar with. We normally ask for 50%, but the scholarships haven't been confirmed yet.
That's correct.
and all international students will need to be on campus by the 14th of October. Any later than this, you will need to defer.
And we have a visa advice team at DMU who may be able to answer certain visa questions that myself and Alex may not be able to due to the limitations of our roles. So just to mention that the visa advice team, it's visaadvice@dmu.ac.uk, may be able to support with any visa queries that any of our applicants coming for this intake may have. So we've just had a follow-up question in regards to 50% of the tuition fee being paid. Can they get a scholarship? So nothing's been confirmed for our future intakes at the moment, but this past intake we have had a scholarship whereby a 50% deposit was received by a certain point in the cycle. Then a scholarship was awarded, which was a discount on tuition fees. But we haven't had any confirmation that that's going to be available for the January intake onwards. But as Alex has said previously, if you just if you check our website intermittently we will make sure that any updates are provided on there. And can you enroll for your course through online? No, the pre-registration, I believe, is online at least, but registration is in person. Which is why it's really important that you, once you've received your visa, if you're coming for this intake, that you make arrangements to come to the UK as soon as possible, because registration does have a cut-off point and there is no way of enrolling online as we have done in previous years due to COVID concessions.
That's right. Registration opens on the 15th of September and it closes on the 14th of October, and that has to be in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think we've pretty much answered most of the questions in the chat. I know there's been quite similar questions, which is great to see. Thank you so much for the engagement. It's been really, really great to discuss this with you, Alex, and thank you for all of your great points. I hope that lots of our viewers have taken lots of that information away. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but our website's really, really great if you want to have a look after this live stream at some of our website pages.
That's right. So thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you here in September or one of the future intakes.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.